Hello, how are you doing, my friends? I hope you're doing great. Welcome back to Verified Soul and to today's video. Now, today, this is an interesting topic, and it's because there was a question that popped up in the comment section about this regard. Now, do you remember the time we were applying for the DV lottery? I did encourage you as a couple that you have to apply, the both of you, each one of you including the other spouse and the kids. Do you remember that? Now, out of that comes this question: what if we get selected, the both of us? And I told you that by you applying, the both of you, you increase your chances of getting selected. Remember also, each application from each spouse is treated independently when it comes to selection process. Each one is treated as one application each. Therefore, the selection of this one will not affect the selection of the other in the application process. But remember, there is also that possibility that you can get selected, the both of you. And if it happens so, lucky you. Now, what happens if you get selected, the both of you? And I will base my narration on a real encounter that I had last year, DV Lottery 2023, because a couple reached out to me from South Africa and they were selected, the both of them, the wife together with the husband. And actually, it is the wife that contacted me. And if she's watching, she can confirm this. And she told me that we applied as you had advised us, the both of us. And luckily enough, we were selected, the both of us. But she was now confused. Were they to proceed, the both of them, or not? Because she was worried, will that be a problem if they fill the DS260, the both of them, and continue the both of them? Will it bring any harm to their cases? And I told them, not at all, no problem will arise. In fact, it is a double chance of getting visa approval. So I told them, go ahead and fill the form DS260, the both of you. And that's what they did. Now, the wife had a lowercase number than the husband, and that means the wife would have been scheduled for the interview before the husband, and that's what happened. And luckily enough, during that first interview, that is the wife's interview, they were successful, and only they had not submitted the DS5535, which the Johannesburg embassy requested them off, and therefore they were put on AP just for them to produce that document. After she submitted the DS5535, their visas were approved. But note that the DS5535 that was requested by the Johannesburg embassy of them was not related to their issue of them being selected, the both of them. It was on a different ground. Now, let's come back. Having heard of that story, the point is, if you get selected, the both of you as a couple, each one of you has to submit the DS260 form and include the other spouse plus the kids if you have. But remember, in the initial application, you should have added the other spouse and the kids for you to proceed. If one of you goes through the interview unsuccessfully and therefore gets a visa denied because of one reason or the other, because things might happen, then you have another chance of the other spouse. If he or she gets scheduled for the interview, then he or she can get approved. And therefore, you had failed initially, but due to the other application, you get your visas. So it is very important that you proceed with filling the Form DS-260, both of you. And if the one to be scheduled for the interview first gets a successful interview and therefore the visas, the other partner is not supposed to go for the interview. Even if the interview is scheduled, he or she must miss the interview. They should not attend the interview because they have the visa already with them from the first spouse interview. And here is an important thing to note, that these two cases are treated independently. And just as I had said before, that each case is independent of the other when it comes to the selection process, so does with the interview schedule. The interview schedule for one spouse does not determine the interview schedule of the other spouse. They follow the numerical order. Once the first spouse is scheduled for the interview, when the due date for the schedule for the interview for the other spouse comes, he or she will be scheduled as well. And that's why I've told you, if the first spouse's interview is successful, the other spouse does not have to attend the interview. In any case, they must not attend the interview if the first spouse was successful, because they already have their visas with them. And so I come to the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, share, and let's meet in the next video.